If you had caught me straight out of college in the halls of the Vermont State House where I was a lobbyist in training and asked me what I was going to do with my life, I would have told you that I just passed the Hanyu Shuiping, the Chinese equivalency exam, and I was going to go study law in Beijing. And I was going to improve U.S.-China relations through top-down policy changes and judicial system reforms. I had a plan, and I never, ever thought it would have anything to do with the banjo. Little did I know what a huge impact it would have on me one night when I was at a party, and I heard a sound coming out of a record player in the corner of a room, and it was Doc Watson singing and playing Shady Grove. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, my darling, Shady Grove, my little love, going back to Harlan. That sound was just so beautiful, the sound of Doc's voice and the rippling groove of the banjo. And after being totally and completely obsessed with the mammoth richness and history of Chinese culture, it was like this total relief to hear something so truly American and so truly awesome. I knew I had to take a banjo with me to China. So before going to law school in China, I bought a banjo, I threw it in my little red truck, and I traveled down through Appalachia, and I learned a bunch of old American songs, and I ended up in Kentucky at the International Bluegrass Music Association Convention. And I was sitting in a hallway one night, and a couple girls came up to me, and they said, "Hey, do you want to jam?" And I was like, "Sure." So I picked up my banjo, and I nervously played 4 songs that I actually knew with them. And a record executive walked up to me and invited me to Nashville, Tennessee to make a record. It's been 8 years. And I can tell you that I didn't go to China to become a lawyer. In fact, I went to Nashville. And after a few months, I was writing songs. And the first song I wrote was in English, and the second one was in Chinese. 门外有个世界，心中有个声音，说风等你来呀，永远永远。Outside your door, the world is waiting. Inside your heart, a voice is calling. The 4 corners of the world are watching. So travel, daughter, travel. Go get it, girl. It's really been 8 years since that fated night in Kentucky. And I've played thousands of shows, and I've collaborated with so many incredible, inspirational musicians around the world, and I see the power of music. I see the power of music to connect cultures. I see it when I stand on a stage at a bluegrass festival in East Virginia, and I look out at the sea of lawn chairs, and I bust out into a song in Chinese, 太阳出来了，喜洋洋哦啷咯, and everybody's eyes just pop right open like it's gonna fall out their heads. And they're like, "What's that girl doing?" And then they come up to me after the show, and they're like, they all have a story. They all come up to me and they're, my aunt's sister's babysitter's dog's chicken went to China and adopted a girl. And I tell you what, it's like everybody's got a story. It's just incredible. And then I go to China, and I stand on a stage at a university, and I bust out into a song in Chinese, and everybody sings along, and they roar with delight at this girl with the hair and the instrument, and she's singing their music. And I see, even more importantly, the power of music to connect hearts. Like the time I was in Sichuan province, And I was singing for kids in relocation schools in the earthquake disaster zone. And this little girl comes up to me. 王大姐，可以给你唱一下我妈妈教我的歌曲。Big Sister Wang, Washburn, Wang, same difference. Big Sister Wang, can I sing you a song that my mom sang for me before she was swallowed in the earthquake? And I sat down, and she sat on my lap. She started singing her song, and the warmth of her body and the tears rolling down her rosy cheeks, and I started to cry, and the light that shone off of her eyes was a place I could have stayed forever. And in that moment, we weren't our American selves, we weren't our Chinese selves, we were just mortals sitting together in that light that keeps us here. I want to dwell in that light with you and with everyone, and I know U.S.-China relations doesn't need another lawyer. Thank you.